Hello Otters, hope you're okay. It's this time again, Gangster Granny, and it's now chapter 21 and it's a tap show. Ben sat silently in the back of the little brown car in his love bomb outfit. I hope you didn't forget about the competition, Ben, said Mum as she fixed her makeup in the passenger seat, her lipstick accidentally scrawling across her face as they went round a corner. No, of course not, Mum. Don't worry, son, continued Dad as he proudly drove his son to the dance competition. You've done so much training up in your bedroom, I know you'll get top marks from all of the judges, straight tens. What about Granny? Won't she be expecting me? Said Ben anxiously. Tonight was supposed to be the night that they stole the crown jewels, but instead he was on his way to take part in a dance competition, despite never having danced a step in his life. For the last 2 weeks he had avoided thinking about the dance competition, but now that time had come. It was really going to happen. He was going to have to dance a solo number which he hadn't prepared, in front of an entire theatre full of people. Oh, don't worry about Granny, said Mum. She doesn't know what time of day it is anyway. She laughed as the car stopped suddenly at a red light. The mascara splattered all across her forehead. They arrived at the town hall. Ben saw a rushing river of multicoloured lycra making its way into the building. If anyone at school found out he'd entered, he would never live this down. The bullies will have all the ammunition they would need to make his life hell forever. And what's more, he hadn't rehearsed his dance, not even once. He didn't have a clue what he was going to do on stage. This was a competition to find the best junior dancers in the local area. There was a prize for the best couple, best solo female and best solo male. If you won here, you would get the chance to compete for your county, and if you won there, for your country. This was the first step on the road to international dance superstardom, and the host for the evening was none other than the Strictly Stars dancing heartthrob and his mum's favourite, Flavio. It's wonderful to see so many beautiful ladies here tonight, he purred in his Italian accent. Flavio looked even more shiny in real life. His hair was slicked back, his teeth were white, and his outfit was as tight as cling film. Now, are we ready to rumba? Yes, the crowd screamed. Flavio can't hear you. Are we ready to rumba? Yes. Ben was listening nervously backstage. He heard one woman's voice screech, I love you, Flavio. It sounded suspiciously like his mum. Ben looked around the dressing room. It might as well have been a convention of the most annoying children in the world. They looked so unbearably precious, adorned in their ridiculous garish lycra outfits, smeared in fake tan and with pearly white teeth so bright they could be seen from outer space. Ben looked anxiously at his watch, knowing he was going to be terribly late to meet his granny. He waited and waited. There was the quick step, the jive, waltz, Viennese waltz, tango, foxtrot and the cha-cha-cha. Finally Ben's turn came. He stood in the wings as Flavio announced his name. Now it's time for the local boy who's getting to delight us all tonight with a solo dance. Please welcome Ben. Flavio glided off the stage as Ben plodded on, his lycra love bomb outfit riding uncomfortably up his bottom. Ben stood alone in the middle of the dance floor. A spotlight shone on him. The music started up. He was praying for some sort of escape from this. He would have been happy with anything, including a fire alarm, an earthquake, World War II, another ice age, a deadly swarm of killer bees, a meteor from outer space, a tidal wave, a hurricane or tornado, being abducted by aliens and not returning to Earth for 1,000 years, dinosaurs returning to the Earth through some kind of time-space portal, a volcano erupting, an attack of giant slugs, or even an attack of a medium-sized slug. Ben wasn't fussy. Any of the above would have sufficed. The music played for a while and Ben realised he hadn't moved his body yet. He looked over at his parents, who beamed with pride, seeing their child centre stage at last. He looked to the wings where the ever-smiling Flavio was giving him encouragement. Please make the ground open up and swallow me. But it didn't. There was no choice but to do something. Ben started moving his legs, then his arms, then his head. None of these parts of his body moved in time or sequence, as for the next 5 minutes he threw his body around the dance floor in a style that can only be called unforgettable. As much as you might want to forget it, you can't. Ben tried to jump at the end, just as the music stopped, and he fell to the floor with a thud. There was a silence, a deafening silence. Then Ben could hear the sound of one pair of hands clapping. He looked up. It was his mum. Then another pair of hands joined in. It was Dad. For a few seconds he thought it might be one of these moments you see in your film when the underdog triumphs again all the odds, that soon everyone in the hall would be on their feet cheering and applauding this local boy who had at last made his loved ones proud, at the same time reinvented dancing forever. The end. Well, no, that's not what happened. After a few moments, his parents felt embarrassed to be the only people applauding, so they stopped. Flavio returned to the stage. Well, that was, For the first time, the Italian heartthrob seemed lost for words. Judges, can we have your scores for Ben, please? 0, said the first. 0, said the second. 0, said the third. Only one more judge to go. Could Ben make 4 zeros? But the final judge must have felt sorry for the sweaty little boy in front of her, who had shamed his family for generations with the epic display of talentlessness. She shuffled her scoring paddles under the desk. 1, she announced. There were loud boos, boo, and jeers from the audience as she corrected her score. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean 0, she said, holding up her original paddle. Slightly disappointing scores from the judges there, said Flavio, still trying hard to smile. But young Ben, all is not lost. As the only boy who entered the solo male category tonight, you are therefore the winner. I present you with this solid plastic statue. Flavio picked up a cheap-looking trophy of a dancing boy and presented it to Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a round of applause for Ben. There was silence again. Even Mum and Dad didn't dare to clap. Then boos and jeers. Boo! Shame on you! It's a fix! Flavio's perfect smile began to crack. He leaned down to Ben and whispered in his ear, You'd better get out of here before you get lynched. At that exact moment, a tap shoe was thrown from the back of the audience. It flew at speed through the air. It was probably aimed at Ben, but instead it hit Flavio right between the eyes as he fell to the ground unconscious. Time to make my excuses and leave, thought Ben. So he dashed out. Da 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 da. What's going to happen next? Will he make grands in time? Let's find out from next time. But until then, children, keep reading. Bye.